Hi, Chase with MySwing Golf, joined here by Monte Scheinblum. Monte was a 1992 World Long Drive Champion. He's a MySwing ambassador. He's had the system for a couple months. In this video, we're going to talk about some new features to our software that we've just released. Monte's going to go through with me and talk about some of the features and how he would use him in his everyday teaching. So first, we've opened up a swing. We've opened up one of my swings actually. Let's go ahead and we'll go into settings. So in settings, you can do a lot of things. We'll generally touch some of the top features, some of the older features. You can deselect all the body segments. So if you're looking at just the pivot, just the pelvis, just the rib cage, you might want to take a look at just that. Where would you use that, Monte, if you were using this to teach?
Well, when you watch the traces, okay, if there's too much busy noise on there with all the body segments on there, it's hard to see the traces. And you want to see them individually, so that's when I start eliminating body parts.
So if you're looking at a shoulder trace or something, you might do everything but the shoulder.
Actually, from the waist up, I eliminate everything and just leave the shoulder segment there.
Awesome, very cool. So you mentioned traces, right? So now you can see we've got some traces we can add. We've had these features in the past, but you can do a trail elbow trace or a shaft trace. Shows the backswing and the downswing from a down the line view. You can also look at it from a face-on view, any view you want to, but those are really normally used with both down the line and face-on. Next, you've got rotations. We added a new rotation with this last software release. We added the head rotation. Let's go ahead and pull up the head rotation. We'll take a look at it. So the head rotation is displayed open or closed in relationship to the target. That's important as it's not in relationship to the body at this point. So when would you use this feature?
I get a lot of people who, either, they see Nicholas rotated his head so he could turn more, which is fine if it was this way, but you see a lot of people, they start to rotate the head that way.
That was really good. Show that to the camera again.
From this direction, the head rotates that way. Now that doesn't seem like much, and it seems like it would create more freedom of movement and more turn. But what happens is when you start to tilt the head, you tilt the eye line.
So now your eyes are looking here when the ball's still this way. Right?
And so here's what will happen in a situation like that. So hypothetically, I'm hitting the ball toward the camera. So my eyes are parallel to the target line. My brain is saying, okay, I'm going to hit it this way. So if you tilt your head this way, one of two things is generally going to happen, and they're both bad. Number one is you're going to swing down the eye line, or number two, you're going to sense the target is behind you, and then that's the big over-the-top move.
So option one, you're swinging way too far to the right. Option two, you're swinging way too far to the left.
And neither one. And the analogy I always give is, if you had a rifle here, you're not going to mount the scope 45 degrees to the right of the rifle barrel. So, here's, your target line where you're trying to hit the ball. There's your rifle barrel. So you want your eyes parallel to that line, so you don't want to be, a little bit of movement obviously is not going to kill you.
But the more movement requires more athletic ability to hit a good golf shot.
Right, absolutely.
More manipulation.
Yeah, more manipulation.
Okay, awesome. So let's go into settings again. We'll take a look at, so we've added a couple of new tilts. We always had forward and side tilt. Now we've got pelvis tilt, rib cage tilt, and shoulder tilt. So here we can isolate, so we're basically looking at side tilt, secondary tilt of each particular segment.
Sure.
Let's pull up, let's do two at a time. Let's pull up pelvis tilt and shoulder tilt. Where would you use this?
Well, you see a lot of people that, the pelvic tilt is generally, you don't want that to be too far off the shoulder tilt. I mean, they do separate.
Almost kind of running parallel to each other? Okay.
Yes. But what you see a lot of people do is they'll take a backswing and, I need to swing to right field, and they drop their right shoulder, they tilt their shoulders too much.
So in that case, sorry to interrupt, in that case we'll have a lot of shoulder tilt, and our pelvis, our hip tilt will be relatively level.
Right. And that's a big, not just because you're going to hit bad shots, that's not very good on your back.
Sure.
And then the other one would, conversely, you've got the people say, I got to hit down on it, and then they start to tilt their shoulders too much the other way.
Sure.
And so either way, you don't want to, get too far in either direction.
So answer this for me. So if we see players, higher handicap players going this way, what's that going to do to, say, path and angle of attack?
Well, they're going to hit straight down on the ball, and they're going to take big old divots. And generally speaking, the more your shoulders are tilted this way, the more you're swinging left.
Over the top
slicers, yes.
Awesome. Okay. Great. So let's run that swing through just real quick, and we can take a look at how. So pause it right there. So sorry, let's go to the top. So at the top, and this is my swing. So I've got 35 degrees of shoulder tilt, and I've got 9 degrees, and that's down. So that means my lead side is pointed down towards the ground. So 9 degrees and 35. Anything crazy there?
You know, I mean, the 9 degrees is good because obviously, you know, if you're bent this way and you're rotating 90 degrees to, you know, close to 90 degrees to your spine, you know, you're going to get a little bit of tilt in the hips.
Sure.
You know, I haven't studied these numbers a lot, but my inclination is to think that 35 degrees is probably a little of you doing this.
Okay.
You know, tilting toward the ball just a little bit too much, which we know you have a tendency to do.
Sure. And is that a case where I'm tall, I've got, you know, shorter arms, so I'm 6'7" with a 6'4" wingspan? Is that something that I need that?
You're trying to get to the ball.
Okay.
You know, whereas you see a lot of people will make the flat shoulder turn and then they'll have no shoulder tilt.
Right.
You know, so you know what? All of this stuff just really points to one thing, and you know, there's always the two extremes.
Sure.
You want to avoid them.
Right.
You know, find the middle ground somewhere in all these things.
Makes sense.
And you know, again, 35 degrees for someone like you is probably not excessive. I'll be the first one to admit, this is new stuff to me.
Sure.
I haven't studied this enough to definitively say that's no good.
Right.
But the tendency is to have that much of a separation between your hip and shoulder tilts is probably not an ideal position.
Makes sense. Let's take a look at impact. See how those numbers change to get back down to the golf ball.
See now there, that is more in line there because your hips are not going to be as tilted as your shoulders at impact.
Sure.
If you look at good players, you'll see a little bit of tilt in their hips, and I don't want to say a significant amount of tilt in their shoulders, but more.
Sure.
More tilt in the shoulders than in the hip. But you definitely wouldn't want to see in the hips a 0 because then, you know, you're like that. And
well, and especially 0 hip tilt with 35 to 40 degrees of, that's where you might see in younger, you know, junior golfers that have a lot of speed but don't have a lot of stability.
Yeah.
So you'll get a lot of the right side bending where there's a lot of side crunch here that can cause, you know, back pain over long.
Especially when they're growing.
Absolutely.
See, this is the problem that I see is, you know, when they have their skinny bodies that haven't developed physically, you know, I come from a place where I did this in another sport.
Okay.
I blew up my elbow pitching, and I didn't have proper mechanics, and I got myself out of position to create more speed, throw the ball faster, turn over my curveball more. But this is the same thing there. You don't want your younger players developing bad habits when they're younger just to hit it an extra 15 yards, you know, to hit it up with their friends. Do it correctly.
Sure. Well, and then you run the risk of when they do get stronger, they start adding speed to an unstable body position.
That happened to me.
Exactly.
Because I grew 5 or 6 inches in like a 3 or 4 month stretch between 17 and 18, and I had that move that you were talking about, the big crunch, and I just blew my back up.
Awesome. Well, so are you excited about these new tilts?
Again, this is stuff that I told you I have, and
first time seeing it, right?
I've had no experience. These are my instinctual thoughts about seeing these numbers for the first time, and what I perceive they would be in what you know, there's no such thing as a biomechanically sound body in a golf swing because it punishes the body, but a more sound position.
Well, and let's talk about biomechanics just a little bit. What's the goal? Efficiency and injury-free golf swings, right? We want to be injury-free, and we want to have the most efficient transfer of energy that we can.
Right. To me, it's not just about hitting it as far as we can. It's having the proper balance between protecting our body and hitting it the farthest we can.
Exactly.
And that's where these numbers are going to be so important. Because now that we have these numbers, we'll get volumes and volumes of data, and I guarantee 5 years from now, we're going to see people who only have a 20-degree separation between hip and shoulder tilts at impact are less likely to injure their back.
Sure.
You know, who knows what those numbers are,
right.
But in 5 years from now, we're going to have all the data. We're going to know.
Sure, absolutely.
We're going to know.
Again, the whole goal is not to guess anymore.
Right.
We've got the technology to be able to measure precisely. There's no reason to guess with cameras and
right.
again, too, this technology is more affordable. It's portable. We can set it up in no time at all. So why not use it? Right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So we talked a little bit about, in the settings, we talked a little bit about the body segments, the tilts, rotations, and traces.